the clock just started, and the next 30 to 45 days will decide whether you bought a great deal or a six-figure mistake. This is due diligence. The one window where you get to open every drawer, read every lease, and confirm the property is everything the seller said it was. Miss something here, and you own it forever. So today, I am handing you the exact checklist serious buyers run. 5 buckets, 1 master list, and the single moment you can still walk away clean. Let's go. Here is why this matters. Most buyers fall in love with a property before they verify a single number. Then they rush the inspection, skim the lease, and close, only to discover the roof is shot, the tenant can terminate next year, or the prior owner left contamination in the ground that is now your problem. Under federal law, you can inherit an environmental cleanup you never caused. Due diligence is the firewall against all of it. Do it right and you buy with confidence. Do it wrong and you buy someone else's liability. Let's break it into 5 buckets you can actually work through. Start with the money, because the price is built on it. Pull at least 3 years of operating statements, the current rent roll, and the trailing 12 months. The T12. Then reconcile what is real against the seller's pro forma. Does the in-place income actually match? Are the expenses understated to make the cap rate look fat? Check the CAM reconciliations, the tax bills, the insurance, and get estoppel certificates from the tenants confirming the rent, the dates, and the deposits. The pro forma is the seller's hope. The T12 is the truth. You underwrite the truth. Next, the building itself. Order a property condition assessment, a PCA, and inspect everything that costs real money to fix. Start with the roof, its age, condition, and remaining life, because a roof replacement is one of the most expensive checks you will ever write. Then the HVAC, age, capacity, maintenance history, the structure, foundation, walls, load-bearing elements, the parking lot, the site drainage, ADA compliance, and any signs of deferred maintenance or water damage. And yes, you do this even on a triple net deal, because if that tenant ever leaves, every one of these becomes your bill. Now the bucket that can sink you the hardest, environmental. On nearly every commercial deal, you order a Phase 1 environmental site assessment, a records review and site inspection by a qualified professional, usually $2,000 to $5,000, and most lenders require it before they fund. If the Phase 1 flags recognized environmental conditions, you escalate to a Phase 2, actual soil and groundwater sampling, to see if there is real contamination. Watch the high-risk sites especially, former gas stations and fuel storage, old dry cleaners, agricultural chemicals, and anything industrial. In Central Florida, add proximity to known plumes and wetlands. This is the one liability you do not negotiate after closing. You find it before. Bucket 4 is legal, and this is where clean ownership gets confirmed. Review the title commitment for liens, judgments, easements, and use restrictions. Get an updated ALTA survey showing exact boundaries, the building footprint, setbacks, encroachments, and the flood zone. Then verify zoning. Is the current use conforming, and would your intended use be allowed? Check the comprehensive plan and the future land use map. Watch for overlay districts and confirm setbacks, height, parking, and signage rules. For land, pin down the entitlement timeline and read the service contracts, landscaping, security, management, because some of them transfer to you whether you want them or not. Last bucket, and on an income deal, it is the most important, the lease and the tenant. Read every lease, cover to cover, ideally with a real estate attorney. How many years of income are actually locked in? What are the rent escalations, fixed bumps, CPI, or percentage rent? Exactly which expenses does the tenant cover, triple net, double net, or modified gross? And what did the landlord carve out for roof, structure, or capital? Then study the dangerous clauses, assignment and subletting, termination rights, and co-tenancy provisions that let a tenant walk if a neighbor leaves. Finally, confirm the tenant can pay. credit ratings for national brands, financial statements for the rest. The income is only as strong as the tenant standing behind it. Let me put a number on the clock. Once that purchase contract is signed, you typically get a 30 to 45-day due diligence window. Though complex assets can stretch to 60, that is it. 30 to 45 days to inspect, to read, to verify, and to decide whether you close, retrade the price, or walk with your deposit intact. The window is short, and it is the most valuable time in the entire deal. Treat every day of it like money, because it is. Here is the master checklist. Screenshot this and run it on every commercial deal you ever touch. 1. Financial. The T12, the rent roll, CAM, taxes, and insurance, all reconciled against the pro forma. 2. Physical. A property condition assessment covering roof, HVAC, structure, parking, and ADA. 3. Environmental. A phase 1 and a phase 2 if any recognized environmental conditions get flagged. 4. Legal, the title commitment, the ALTA survey, and full zoning and entitlement review. 5. Lease and tenant. Read every lease, collect estoppel certificates, and confirm tenant credit. And 6. Closing, insurance quotes, flood zone status, and the assignment of leases. 6 buckets, 1 list, nothing slips through. Now the mistake that costs buyers the most, rushing it. They get excited, they waive contingencies, they skim the lease instead of reading it, and they hand back their only leverage, because this window is your last clean chance to act on what you find. Inspection turns up a dying roof, you retrade the price or ask the seller to fix it. Phase 1 flags contamination, you renegotiate or walk with your earnest money refunded. The lease has a termination clause. The offering memo never mentioned, better to know now than after you wire the funds. Due diligence is not a formality, it is your exit and your leverage. Do not waste it and never, ever skip the lease read. Let's lock it in. Due diligence is a 30 to 45-day window after you sign. Your one shot at to verify everything before the money is in. Work it in 5 buckets: financial, physical, environmental, legal, and lease and tenant. Order a property condition assessment and a phase 1 environmental, and escalate to a phase 2 if anything gets flagged. Read every single lease and verify the income against the T12. Never the pro forma. And remember the big one. This is your last clean chance to retrade or walk away. Run the checklist, do not rush it, and never skip the lease read. If you are under contract right now or about to be, do not run this alone. I'm Ryan Solberg with MaxLife Commercial. We walk buyers through every step of due diligence on commercial properties across Central Florida and the entire state. Grab the full checklist and our buyer guides at maxlifedevelopment.com or call us directly at 321-586-2121. Let's make sure the deal is exactly what it looks like before you close. I will see you in the next one.